Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is December 3rd, and today's episode is going to be the rETH special pretty much. We have a sneak peek of the rETH incubator results. We've got an update from AlphaGrowth about what they've been working on. We have information about rETH on Coinbase wallet, the discount from the peg, and making money with rETH. We've got the DeFi sheet. It's basically all rETH all day long, and then the Raffle as well. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
So we are going to start with a sneak peek of the results of the incubator. I have been given permission to tease these results before the official report is released today. And what we're going to do is just have a look at the rankings and we're not going to dig too deep into it until tomorrow. That's when we're going to dig deeper. But we've got the results. So the number one suggestion is Star, and that was by Dr. Doofus, and that got an average rating of 47, and that's just fantastic. So what I really liked about this is that this is an expansion of Sewer Poo, which was Dr. Doofus's previous suggestion on how to get rETH growing, and that was basically for people in the community to step up, reach out to other communities, other DAOs, other treasuries, etc., and get them to spend their ETH into minting rETH. This project actually saw some success in the earlier iteration, but it was then paused because we were node operator supply short and we didn't have the capacity to mint more rETH. And now that that's not the case, it looks like the awarding team really liked this reimagination of Sewer Poo, and this is the star system. So you can go back to the links in the rETH incubator thread to read the full detail, or we'll actually talk about it in more detail tomorrow. There's another one here from Noshua about time delayed rETH burning. There's one from Never on Island, use cases section on Rocket Pool website. Magma has a couple here in a row from Euler looping strategies and a rewards DApp. Famous Allspice has 2 in a row. Fluid Dex rETH support and incentivize rETH collateral. And then Ishka, Never an Island, Ken Destroyer, and a whole bunch of others. So there were 28 submissions in total that were checked by the team, and that's I'm just giving you a quick tease of what the results were, but we're going to dig into all of this a lot more tomorrow. In fact, I'll probably be spending like a good 20-30 minutes talking about this whole thing and this whole process, but this is really exciting. I think some of these ideas were fantastic. I'm really looking forward to like the next steps being that people write bounties and grants for these to get implemented, and we can start spending money on incentivizing rETH growth. And I think this is going to be really cool to see. So definitely watch tomorrow's episode if you want all the details, but if you can't wait, then just look at the list here in the order that the ranking has given, and then go and have a look at the rETH incubator page and read all the descriptions there. But of course, in tomorrow's episode, I'll give you feedback as well of what each person said about it. With implementation suggestions, there's some information here as well, but we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff to go over tomorrow, so definitely come back for that. Okay, like I said, today is going to be the rETH special episode. So we also have an updated DeFi sheet from Stake Rocket Pool. This is by Regex Buster, and here we say that Aura Finance's LP for rETH RPL blows the rest of the liquidity positions out of the water with a 127% APR. And they suggest that always do your own research, as RPL DeFi in this thread aren't financial advice. But anyway, here's the updated information. So like I said, they start with the screenshots here. So there's current VAPR, which is 127%. So there's rewards from Aura, rewards from Balancer. There's some swap fees as well. And then there's rETH APR on top of that, and USDC reward from Aura as well, extra reward. And then and there's that information there. So this is absolutely like phenomenal yield, and this is the 50 rETH, 50 RPL, and they've got a gauge boost as well. So that's where all that information is coming from. But yeah, if you want to provide liquidity for your RPL and rETH, and you are aware of what impermanence loss is and how all that works, then that might be a good place for you to put some of your money. Now, going back to rETH stuff here, we've got rETH opportunities, and if we look at the numbers, you'll see that Balancer rETH, wrapped ETH on base is giving up to 11.5%. There's Balancer on Optimism with Anchor ETH giving 6.5%, and then a couple of others. That's the Beethoven rocket fuel farm is giving 5.5%. But yeah, you can get some really nice yield here from providing liquidity for rETH and ETH, getting between 5 and 10% basically, which is really nice. If you have a look on that, those are on layer 2, sorry. If we have a look on mainnet, there's some actually really nice numbers here. PancakeSwap is definitely pushing ahead again with their incentives. They are giving up to 28%, 27% rewards APR, which is absolutely fantastic, and that's incentivized with Cake and RPL as well from the IMC. There's Gamma, that's giving 3.2%. Balancer on mainnet is giving 7.2% as well. So those are the places where you can put your rETH, but that PancakeSwap pool looks really, really good. And yeah, of course, there's the reminder of the Balancer rETH RPL pool, and the incentives are there, of course, with Balancer and Aura. So I don't know how long lasting those incentives will be, but that is actually a really nice pool for you to put your ETH and RPL, and then if you want to have a look at the full sheet, that's rpldefi.com, where you can get all the details and the links to the different strategies, and whatever you're comfortable with, you can go and do that. So really great work there, Regex Buster. Thank you for that. Okay, so as you all know, the GMC hired AlphaGrowth for business development work, and this was a couple of months ago. They got their grant approved. Since then, they've started working on BD stuff, and where we stand right now is that they are actively doing all that work and trying to find opportunities for rETH and promoting the minting of rETH basically, or active. Well, they've got two sets of duties, I guess they're kind of doing. One is the active minting of rETH, that they're trying to get people to mint rETH, and the second is doing that as a secondary step where people will see the yield and then they'll mint rETH to take advantage of that yield, for example. So anyway, here Sad Broke Director gave a little bit of an update, and there was a bit of back and forth, so I thought I'd cover that for you all. So he says that one of the things that they're doing at the moment is working with a Kraken wallet and the Inc team, not the exchange specifically. They're separate entities under the same umbrella. It says, we're able to ensure that Rocket Pool staking on the Kraken wallet explore page was released this month, so Rocket Pool was added to that. I covered that in yesterday's show. And then the director says that when it comes to centralized exchanges staking, these conversations take 6 to 18 months sales cycles. So we're in conversation with chains, wallets, bridges, centralized exchanges to use Rocket Pool for idle ETH and earn yield. So what they're saying basically is that one of the comments was that a lot of the smaller exchanges don't have any native staking system like Coinbase does, Binance does, Kraken does in European markets and other markets, but a lot of the smaller ones don't have any staking tokens. So what we could do is kind of partner with them and get them to get their customers to buy rETH, and in buying rETH, that will drive demand for rETH, which will then help rETH grow. So there's different things that they're working on here, but that idea of smaller exchanges was kind of talked about in the community yesterday. MountainB had some feedback for the director saying, is there any way the community can get a regular glimpse of these activities being undertaken? He says it would help with avoiding unnecessary negative sentiment. It'll ensure that community members who are otherwise not very involved get a sense of things moving, getting excited for future Rocket Pool, getting more appreciation of things done and undertaken, and avoid heavy time investment in ideas and concepts already being carried out in some capacity. He says, I'm happy to help with the community messaging to community if desired, and would help me understand what's actually going on and happening. He He says there's a communication piece that's really missing in Rocket Pool that I'd like to see filled in some official capacity. And then Pateris kind of said there's the thread, for AlphaGrowth deal flow. But then the director replied saying, I always welcome support from the community. I have this thread for community members to ask questions that help with the BD efforts. And then it's like Rocket Pool would like BD with, that's the thread that I covered in Rocket Fuel a few weeks ago. He says strengthening Rocket Pool's relationship with projects like Kraken Wallet and Inc. is definitely a long-term play that will be mutually beneficial. He says, I have another meeting with the Kraken team this week. There will also be at ETH Denver, so planning to meet with them in real life. And then in that thread, the Broke director says this is not a finished product, but wanted the community to see some of the work that has been done. So there was a document that the AlphaGrowth guys and the director shared with the GMC members in the last meeting that we had. And in that, it wasn't very easy for us to see what was happening and how it was happening. So the director moved it all over to Google Docs and was able to share that with us. And then this is what, we've got some output here of who they've been talking to, what the impact they think that will have, what the confidence level in that interaction is, and what the ease of service will be. So this is covering things from like Tron, Scroll, Avalanche, Fractal, Renzo, Mountain Protocol, Morph, L2, Safe, Peapods, Compound, Kraken, and they've got kind of a different score that comes up with each of these. Some information about what the status is, how it all looks, that kind of stuff. There's still some information missing here that I guess could get added, but there's some areas of confidence here. For example, this one is given a 30 rating with Compound. So it said create an rETH market on Compound. Will need $50 million to $100 million commitment. Compound will give Rocket Pool 40,000 OP tokens as an incentive for co-incentivizing. Here there's another one that's got 28 score. This is with Uniswap. So Uniswap will give Rocket Pool 30,000 in OP incentives, 15,000 OP to this particular pool, which is, I have no idea, wrapped USD M rETH pool, and 15,000 OP to the ETH and rETH pool. And then there's some other ones here with high confidence scores as well. So this one was Nerite, and that's liquidity fork on Arbitrum, and they want to add rETH as collateral. And there's a few others that you can kind of poke around with. The link, of course, is in the description. But there's a few here that they're actually quite happy with, and kind of, I guess, according to this sheet, they think is progressing well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And as we get more information from the director of what AlphaGrowth is doing, I will keep you all up to date with that. Okay, and this kind of like is a separate conversation that came up in that discussion with the director. Hululu said, any chance you can ask Coinbase why the rETH integration in their Coinbase wallet isn't there anymore? At least he says it looks like it isn't. So on the Coinbase wallet, of course, that's gotten really popular recently. People like it a lot. They had a tab where you could stake your ETH with rETH. Basically, it was an rETH integration, and it looks like that was removed. So the director said, can you give me some information? But it looks like Coinbase is trying to get everything under their banner. So they want like CB ETH, CB BTC, and probably like soon with CB Sol as well. So Halil said they used to offer, and their docs still mention rETH as liquidity staking option next to CB ETH. I could be mistaken, but I recently tried to click the stake button in the Coinbase wallet, and it no longer seemed to give me options. So the director says it's pretty sure it's because they're putting everything under their own Coinbase brand. And then Lang has actually checked in a little while later saying he's in the process of checking up with the product manager on the Coinbase side and trying to figure out what's going on. And of course, Coinbase Ventures is an ODAO member with on the Rocket Pool protocol. So I think we have some ins there. So hopefully we'll get an update on that, and hopefully rETH will be added back to that very soon. Okay, so since this is the rETH special, we've been talking about rETH a whole lot, and we are actually improving on the peg. So, as you all know, rETH has been off peg since a few days after the Saturn Zero upgrade, and that's because the deposit pool is empty and people are kind of getting into position for a bull market, so they want to get out of rETH into ETH, and because there's no rETH available to burn in the deposit pool and get your ETH out that way, then what's happening is people are selling it on the secondary market, and that's causing a discount. However, the discount has actually gotten a lot better. So it looks like around a 100 validator node operator exited, and that ETH got distributed, of course, and arbed away. So that improved the discount quite a lot. But on top of that, the discount actually has been tightening since then as well, and we are now almost at parity on the secondary market with CB ETH, which is really good to see. If you go back to the alpha and look at so if you look at this discount and you see what's there, and then you look at what's happening with the AlphaGrowth thread and with the rETH incubator, a lot of these are talking about like some kind of incentives for looping or folding, whatever you want to call it. Is basically you buy rETH and then you deposit it into a protocol. They give you ETH back, then you use that to buy more rETH, you deposit it again. And that happens a few times where you kind of like maximize your rETH yield. And that strategy hasn't worked that well for rETH before, because the ETH borrowing rate was less than the rETH rewards rate, so you were kind of at a loss if you did that. However, with the discount, if you think that we're going to get back to peg soon, it might be worth kind of doing that a few times, whatever your risk tolerance is, in anticipation of it getting back to peg. And then, of course, as you get back to peg, then you will have outsized returns on your folding and looping, whatever you did in that process. The risk, however, is that if there's a big depeg, like, a few percent, depending on how many times you loop, you could get liquidated. So this is not financial advice or trading advice or anything like that. But if the possibility is there for there being rETH growth, then that could be something really interesting to look at in terms of trying to get front run those opportunities, basically. So yeah. Okay, Archive Protocol here had an update of a whale who staked with Rocket Pool. They used their ETH to buy rETH. So they start their tweet by saying, "What would you do with 5,000 ETH?" And they said 794 days ago, so that's over 2 years ago, this user staked it all with Rocket Pool. He said back then it was worth much less, but thanks to a 194% price increase, the position is now valued at 19.5 million. So the person staked a whole lot of ETH, and now that has increased in value a whole lot, which is actually really awesome. So what they did is they got the ETH appreciated, which has boosted their total portfolio value. But in that time, just over 2 years, they've actually earned 400 ETH at a rate of 3.67% APY. So they've earned that's in ETH terms, they've earned 400 ETH. However, in dollar terms, they've earned $1.44 million, which is actually a 10% return APY on their investment in dollar terms. So that was actually really, really cool to see that, if you go into rETH with size, if you're the kind of person who's happy to hold on to your tokens for a long time, like, for multiple years, then you will get really good rewards, especially if you consider that ETH will appreciate in that time, which of course we all hope it will. Your rewards then get multiplied big time. So for example, if ETH is worth $1,000, you're getting 3% returns. Every year you're getting like $30 as a return. However, if that ETH that you bought for $1,000 goes to $10,000, then your initial investment of $1,000 will then be earning $300 at that same 3% rate, which is a 30% return on your initial investment. So those are the kind of numbers that I'm going to be crunching for the next cycle and seeing how I want to kind of get positioned for that. But the reality is that a long-term holding of an LST or LRT, well, not LST, not forget about LRTs, they're not good. But yeah, holding rETH basically for the long term, I think is a really, really smart thing to do. Even if you just sit on it, like, the rewards can be really good. And this here, you can see the position archive protocol here to see what it looks like. So next, I want to give a huge shout out to MountainB, who is a user who actually has featured on Rocket Fuel a couple of times in the last few weeks, mostly in the context of them complaining, sadly, or bringing up concerns. That's a better way of putting it, I think. They talked about the branding stuff a few weeks ago and kind of hit like a roadblock with that. And since then, they've been talking about rETH and what makes rETH better than other LSTs on the market. And they kind of came up with a few ideas over the last few days of pitching rETH as being better than other LSTs because it has more insurance, etc. And just been putting out some really, really interesting ideas. So MountainB doesn't have the biggest Twitter following at the moment, so he's just kind of been putting information into trading and saying, hey, like Jasper, Wack, or whoever else, if you guys want to share this on Twitter, go ahead and do that. So I shared a few of their pieces of content yesterday, and it was really well received. So huge shout out to MountainB for that. So let's actually just talk about the content that we put out. So he says, the tweet says, if you're not taking risk into account, you're gambling, not investing, invest in rETH. So this was actually, the tagline was from Dr. Doofus, so thanks for that, Dr. Doofus. But this is a little infographic that MountainB kind of put the text together, and then Sleety beautified it. So it says, how safe is your ETH? So it says they're kind of comparing STETH with rETH, like, what's the node operator collateral with STETH? There's no node operator collateral with the Rocket Pool. You need the 8 ETH out of 32 ETH, as node operator collateral. So that's 25%. With user protection, if there's a big slashing event, basically with STETH, then there's a small insurance pot, but it's not anywhere near big enough that it needs to be. And that bears the brunt of slashing penalties. However, with rETH, the node operator will be the first one to pay, the penalty will come out of their pocket before it goes to rETH holders. So node operators primarily bear the risk, shielding rETH users. And then with risk exposure, so with rETH, what would happen is, if something happens, then the losses are socialized across all STETH holders. However, with the Rocket Pool, the node operator's collateral will cover the slashing losses first, and then after that 8 ETH goes away per validator, that's when the losses start getting socialized. And then MountainB and Sleety finished this by saying, is the extra 0.1% APY really worth it? Because at this point, STETH was earning 2.95%, rETH was earning 2.86%. So he says, is it really worth the risk? For extra APY, use DeFi, don't compromise reliable, robust, resilient rETH. So as we started this episode, we saw that, the opportunities for getting that extra yield on DeFi are really strong. PancakeSwap has been, one of the top performing liquidity pools for rETH. You can get hugely outsized rewards there instead of taking a risk with STETH potentially. So that was one piece that actually got really good traction. It got like 144 likes, 4,500 impressions, a whole lot of comments and retweets. Also, there was this other meme saying that I'm the dumbest man alive meme. And then the person replied by saying, I stake my ETH without checking the collateral of the staking token I get in return. And then the person says, you're clearly dumber. And then there was another one here with the universe brain saying like, small brain is buy crypto, good is buy ETH, then stake ETH, and then buying rETH is just like galaxy brain. So that actually got really good response as well, with like over 1,000 impressions, 60 likes, a whole bunch of retweets. So MountainB has been like, making these memes and putting out these infographics that have been received really well. And, even if that sways a little bit of people to diversify into rETH or swap their LST into rETH, that would be really cool. So thank you for that, MountainB. And as it's the second episode of December, Cheers was a little bit late. We actually have the Rocket Fuel Raffle take place. This is the contributors raffle. So the data was collected by Cheers, and this time we had 26 contributors. So people like Sneaky, Jasper, Samus, myself, Schifrin, Kevster. As you all know, I give away $1,000 in prizes every month. That's 10 prizes of $100 each. However, one of those is set aside for Cheers, for managing the tickets. And then we get 9 prizes that come out of the actual raffle itself. Even though my name is there, if I do win a prize, I skip over myself and go to the next person instead. So if we paste the names, you can see all the tickets from the previous page. You can see them on the screen right now. If I press go, then there's going to spit out 10 names. The first 9 names will get $100 each. Unless my name is in that list, then the 10th person will get a prize. instead. So that would make up 9 prizes from the raffle, and the 10th prize being cheers for the lottery tickets. So let's have a look. Kevster got number 1, Spartan number 2, Chaos number 3, Patches number 4, Suna 4 number 5, Sneaky number 6, Lenov Tower number 7, Genix number 8, Mighty M number 9, and Not You sadly misses out on a prize. And I'm really surprised that Jasper, myself, and Samus actually didn't get anything, even though we had a really high number of tickets. But there you go, that's the luck of the draw, literally. So I'll be reaching, because there are a bunch of new people here, I'll be reaching out to you to ask for your addresses very soon. And once I get those addresses, I will send out the prizes hopefully soon. Sometimes it takes a few weeks to get those out. But of course, because I send out prizes in stable coins, hopefully it won't make too much of a difference unless you wanted to use that to buy RPL and the price went up in that time. So sorry. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope that bullish episode for rETH was quite like definitely a positive one. But I'll be back tomorrow with a lot more rETH news and really digging into the incubator. And you just got a teaser today, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow. So thanks everyone for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. Have a great day ahead, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.